Natlan is going to be here soon. Guys, it's been 4 years since the release, and back then hearing the name Natlan is just a foreign Genshin Impact language, but now it is right in front of our face. Oh my god, I guess I need to get out and touch some grass from being a day 1 Genshin Impact player. But I guess not, because we're all excited for Natlan, aren't we? If so, there are quite a lot of things you want to look into preparing right now before Natlan comes, because these things we're talking about today will get you a pretty good head start when the region comes. Not that you can of course play with your own speed, but still stick around as I'm sure you'll find something helpful in this video as of any of my videos. Now guys, if you've been watching some of my video, you know that I've been recommending you guys loot bar for around 3 times before, and I believe that it worked pretty well for you guys. So if you don't know what loot bar is, they actually help you to top up Primogems with very safe and secure transactions while having lower pricing discount and a very much trustworthy service with over 100,000 orders, with the majority of the reviews being 5 stars. So check out loot bar through the link in my description guys if you usually top up, as it is a very good way to get Primogems with lower pricing. Now, a real quick reminder to get it out of the way guys is that if you haven't already, then Simulanka Fertile Soil free gems are still waiting for you guys to collect. There's only 1 week left and the gems are literally gonna poof deleted by Hoyo Dev themselves whenever the patch ends. So if you're still outside right now touching some grass, get your beautiful butt back to Simulanka, farm the gems to get a good gem head start for Natlan. You know what's the most important currency in Genshin Impact? If you guess Primogems, then you're wrong. It's actually resins, the goddess of time. So resin equals times, but time also is the most important resources of our life, because with time you make money, which is Primogems. Forget what I said guys. The god of Primogems is still the best, but on the topic of resins, it is literally one of the things that you will lack the most going into Natlan, since you've got like a million new things that you need to farm which requires resins. So saving up your fractural resins right now is one of the most important thing other than saving your Primogems if you're somebody like me who don't usually want to wait to finish farming for a character. Now of course the resources for you to grab fractural resins in the game isn't always going to be easy. However, there are still some of the ways right now for free to play in game that you can do. Is that obviously it's going to be the free battle pass level up. Usually that gives you a few fractural resins. On top of that, the Fountain of Lucine or any other similar location across some of the region also give you fractural resin as reward when you level up their level. Other than that, another very good way is for you to go into the waifu incubator I mean the Serenity Pot, to actually go ahead and buy transient resins. Now obviously transient resins only goes for a 10 days if I remember correctly, so not exactly 2 weeks. So in order for you to make the most use out of this, I recommend you to, you know, like just buy 1 fractural resins this week, and then the next week you get another one, which is kind of like 120 resins for you guys there, so you actually don't get it expired. And obviously before Natlan days come, you save up a 5 condensed resins in your bank account as well, which will be able to help you with the domain farming when Natlan comes. Now talking about farming in Genshin Impact, it has always been a pain in the ass, because the material requirement for you to get your character to level 90 is just way too much. But luckily Dev has been listening to the community recently and provides some pretty good quality of life changes, one of which I would quite enjoy is the world level 9, for not only it increases the difficulty of the world enemies like around 0.1%. Come on guys, rejoice, an increase is still an increase, but moreover you get more drops from world enemies. Now I don't think it increases the drop of the domain, maybe I'm wrong, hopefully they do, but either way that doesn't change the fact that if you're looking to have an easier life in Genshin farming, then level 9 world is a must, or in other words, you guys should be at AR58, which is quite a long way if you haven't been playing Genshin Impact a lot. So if you are in the mood to grind, these are going to be some of the ways that you can get a lot of adventure rank level level. Wow, it's been a while since I talked about adventure rank XP, guys, because after, you know, AR 55 above, we don't really actually care too much about it. But hey, adventure rank point is actually very important again until you are until 58. So first off, obviously going to be the world exploration, usually chest, waypoint, and domain opening gets you a decent amount. Now the most important things are going to be the side quests as well as the daily quests that technically give you the most adventure rank rewards out of all. So if you're like me who have been slacking on basically every single side quest that Hoyoverse give you in the game and also any of the other character story quests, then yes, you can go in there and start doing them so that you get more adventure rank level. And then when it comes to making your Genshin character happy, it's the best time to spoil them with a ton of Mora and those purple comic books. This may be a no-brainer, but I kinda have to remind you again how expensive a level 90 character building can be, because we're having like 3 new characters coming into the game, 2 if you're not building Kachina. So in order to ascend character to roughly 80 plus, you would want around 2 million Mora, not to mention the talent level to max out each of the talent tree requires 1.6 million. Let's say you only want to max out 2 talent to level 10, that's basically a 3.2 million. So in total, you're looking into around a 5 million Mora plus. 2 new Natlan character and you're looking around, you know, a 10 million, not to mention around 400 heroes with plus if you're looking to max out 1 character. So yeah, there you go. If you don't have anything else to do in Genshin Impact in terms of resins using, then definitely Mora and XP bulk is never going to be a losing thing to use your resins on. Now on the topic of preparing for characters, the new characters are what we usually look out for. So for Mulanni, Kinich and Kachina, you can prepare a few stuff right now, which is their own elemental stone for the corresponding elements. Of course, you know, like Mulanni, Hydro, Dendro for Kinich, and Geo for Kachina. But on top of that, that is going to be the weekly boss materials. Mulanni will still be using the Narwhal World material, while Kinich and Kachina will be using Alakino's material. Not a lot that we can prepare for them right now, since mostly they are from Natlan's material, but ensuring you have the gemstones and especially the world boss material ready, that is quite important if you're really looking to have a head start. Now other than that, buying the Dust of Azos, guys, since it is the only material that will allow you to convert elemental stones, for example, you know, converting Dendro into Hydro stones for Mulanni, for example. Now the reason why I'm adding this is due to the fact that so many new characters nowadays use boss material, but the boss that they are farming don't drop their correct elemental stone. For example, if you're looking into the Petrichor boss for Emily's material farming, the boss does not drop Dendro elemental stone for Emily's. So Dust of Azos can come in handy quite sometimes, especially when you are looking to build multiple characters at a time. Now another thing when it comes to farming, yeah, we cannot talk about farming for artifacts. It's also one of the worst part of Genshin Impact, but you know, whenever you get a very good artifact for your character, I think that also makes you happy. But from the live stream, we already know that they are going to be further expanding the strongbox. Therefore, strongbox nowadays already have basically all of the best artifacts that doesn't require you to always farm for that specific domain, which means that knowing some of the better artifacts coming to the strongbox, meaning that I would recommend you to save up your artifacts folder at this point in time, not to waste them too much and then have a bunch of them whenever Natlan comes. Open up the new strongbox options and you will have a lot easier time getting, you know, the correct set that you want. Not that, you know, I can guarantee you that you will get the specific stat that you require. Obviously, you have to wait for the specific item that helps you to tweak your artifacts to your desired stats, though obviously that's going to be a topic of another day. Now every region has their own free-to-play weapon series, and that also includes Natlan's. Now if you haven't really known about the Natlan weapon series yet, then I have a very specific video talking about that to see if whether or not Natlan series is actually a good series for you to invest your billets, as well as a lot of ores to be building the weapons. Now definitely the new Natlan weapon series will have their own specific billet to use for. However, in the past we have been able to actually convert previous weapon billets into the newer ones, so that's probably not going to be too much of a problem for Natlan either. However, in order for you to convert that, Dream Solvent is something that is very much a requirement. Now, I know that Dream Solvent is a very important piece of material for you, for it helps you to convert the weekly boss material into the one that is fitting for you. Luckily, you know, bosses nowadays does drop you quite a lot more of those, but it can still get limited at times. So I do recommend you to actually look through the new weapon Natlan series to see which one you're going to be planning for, and then, you know, probably plan out the Dream Solvent then, and then save on not using the Dream Solvent at this point in time to make sure that, you know, you may have enough for at least getting up to an R5 weapon of your choice. Now, other than that, being over prepared is better than not preparing at all, and I also recommend you to craft a couple of fast travel waypoint if you do have some left over, because yeah, Natlan's going to be a pretty decently huge region. Obviously, we have some new traveling mechanic all around, but Genshin Impact region, we already know how fast it can be, not to mention all the underground parts of the map as well. There can be certain point for you guys where you kind of want to have a quick traveling way back, so having some extra fast waypoint for you is never going to be a bad thing. Not to mention, collecting fireflies can be a pain in the butt sometimes, so if you have nothing else to do, you may want to prepare on that. Glider wings can be one of the most beautiful cosmetic for your character right now, since, well, not all the character has outfit, and I do say that there are many different wings that looks good right now, and I'm sure Pyro Nation Wind Glider would look really good on some of our Pyro character right now. However, they are locked behind the infamous reputation reward farming, which in the past have taken at least 2 months of doing to get, so we usually just chill, but there is a way for you to get at least 1 week head start, and in order for you to do it, that is to actually forget to do your Fontaine or other region reputation and save that for the first week of Natlan. Now, Genshin Impact updates are on Wednesday usually, so you can wait until the middle of the week to actually start doing your Natlan reputation. Oculi has always been quite literally the most time consuming farming of all the regions, for many of the rewards are locked behind specific number of Oculi's collection. Not to mention, there are a lot of them, but sadly in the game, Genshin themselves don't help to exactly track the numbers of collected ones, so we always have to rely on pins. Now, if you've been using them too much, then you may want to start unpinning them from the past region so you don't run out, even though the pins limits have actually increased recently. But moreover, if you haven't been using the Genshin interactive map, then I do recommend you to start looking into doing so, because it can be very helpful for you to farm, especially Oculi, for it does have the function of you signing into the interactive map itself, and then it will link the pin map from your game onto the interactive map for you to actually have an easier time of tracking the Oculi, making your farming time going to be a lot easier. Now, after all of the tips that we have above, there's going to be a bonus tip, and that is regarding for you guys who actually swipe in Genshin Impact. Obviously, Genshin is going to be resetting, you know, the double rewards whenever you top up, and so if you're going to be planning to swipe for, you know, newer characters or, you know, the weapons in Genshin whenever Natlan comes, don't forget to check out Loot Bar, guys, because they usually have very nice discount whenever you top up, so I'm sure they will help you out a lot. So guys, those are going to be basically all of my preparation point this time around. I know that there can be some other too, so if you guys do know any others, leave it down in the comment to help your fellow Genshin Impact players out, or if you do have any question, leave it down there as well, and I or some other lovely Genshin player will get to you there. Now guys, if you're still contemplating which character to pull in patch 5.0 or which 5-star standard character to get in the anniversary reward, I have a 2 very dedicated video looking into that, and I'm sure it can be very helpful to you. I really appreciate you guys staying with me to this part of the video, guys, and with that, I wish you a super day, and I will catch you on my next video.